is a war, and this is your fate. We are the face of your new police state.
Welcome to the Charles Carroll Society. I am your host, the self-appointed bard of the American Readout. I'm going to try to figure out how to pause this video so that I can do a little public service announcement. The first is I want to thank all of you for subscribing and sharing the videos that I'm creating. It does take a lot of effort, and I really appreciate that you guys are appreciating it and subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, and sharing the videos. We have reached over 100 subscribers in about a month, and that is really good. Of course, I don't make viral videos. I'm not a sexy person, and what I'm talking about is not the cutest stuff. I did so. Thank you very much, and please remember, YouTube suppresses these videos as they suppress all conservative thought. So I have had for a long time, maybe 5 years, our own blog over at the charlescarrollsociety.com, charlescarrollsociety.com. So please go over there, subscribe to the blog, so that way you can see new content I produce. I haven't figured out how I'm going to use alternative tech, to get messages out past the internet screeners, but I'm also on Minds and Twitter. I've already been banned once, and I assume I'll be banned again for putting out information of a conservative and Christian and individual liberty nature. The homesteading videos, I've gotten a lot of comments, and I want to thank people for those comments. I've already kind of incorporate them and hope to utilize them in the future. But I wanted to let you guys know the reason I wanted to do this little PSA, public service announcement, is to let you know I have had a tractor for all of maybe 24 months, and I would say 80% of my time in the tractor is driving the belly mower and pushing snow. I have a very long driveway, and I did that for the first year. We got up here by hand, and now I really am thankful that the Lord, it's taken me all my life to collect enough resources to acquire some land in the Rocky Mountains and to acquire some materials that we need here. So I am really, really thankful that I was able to do this. I joined the military, the United States Navy, at the age of 17, and I've been working all my life to try to collect a bit of resources. And my children really don't know this, but one of my prime motivators of having a tractor, doing homesteading, having any kind of involvement is actually to help them be more connected to the land and rediscover our roots. Most of us Americans have a deep root in the soil that has been severed by our the way that things work. And I really think that we should rediscover those roots. And so if you notice, there's always try to encourage and push my children to be around me when we are doing gardening or carpentry projects or working with the tractor, because really, again, they don't know that if they weren't here, I'd probably just be in suburbia kind of just dealing with it. But I'm trying to give my children the gift that was denied or was lost to me, that we have connection. So I barely know how to work a ratchet. All of the wood crafting I know, I learned when I was 12 years old in shop. I wish I could know the man who did the wood crafting in shop class, because he taught me everything I know. And one of my uncles who I worked one summer with, 2 months, hauling concrete buckets and putting up sheetrock with him. So if you see me doing a lot of things that are incorrect with the tractor and other things, the reason is I have no idea really what I'm doing. I've read books. Have watched Paul Short, the Canadian videos, probably about 30, maybe 40 hours of his work. One of the reasons I have a Kubota tractor is because he has a Kubota tractor. But that doesn't give you all the intricacies. I obviously talked to the retailer who sold me the tractor a lot, and I have one of my neighbors who was an equipment operator, but he wasn't a Kubota equipment operator. He just was a heavy equipment operator, and I do projects on his land, and in exchange for him showing me how to use my tractor. I didn't buy jet skis or snowmobiles. When I came up here, I put all my money into buying, what I thought was a much better investment, which was this tractor and a lot of implements and basically the land. So I just want to let you know that's why you see that. I'm a person who believes strongly that we are called to return to the land. We are called to return to rural America, the red states, and to flee really the incredible progressive and deconstruction of all things Christian, classical Western civilization, and individual liberty. And so, even though I don't know what I'm doing here, I'm going to try, and I am not going to be a person who is afraid to do things because I have never done them before, because I don't have a father who did that, who knows this information. And so I'm going to do my best. And so please keep the comments coming. I appreciate the comments. I do, because, I encourage others who want to promote and defend Western, Orthodox Christianity, classic Western civilization, and individual liberty, to not be afraid to fail, not to be afraid to try to return to the land. And we only have 5 acres. We don't, this is not a lot. We have a huge amount of land, and but we have a little plot of land, and we try to work it. And so, again, hopefully my children will appreciate this gift I'm trying to give them, and the Lord will bless our work. So in this video, what we're doing is connecting the backhoe up to my B3350. I believe the backhoe is BH77. I'll look around to see if that's true. Hold on. So yes, I have a B3350 tractor, and I will leave a link in the show notes to my blog post. If any of you guys are YouTube subscribers, I encourage you to go over to my blog and subscribe there. That way YouTube can't manipulate what videos you see, because I post the videos there on my channel, so you'll be alerted. And so I have a B3350 tractor, and I have a long post on why I chose that tractor. It took me a long time to figure out which tractor to invest in, and I have that came with a Kubota BH77 Backhoe. So let's start this video. Let's see if we can get this video going. So, whoops, I need to work with the sound here. So what I've done is we're putting the backhoe on so that we can plant some fruit trees and some bushes, which turns out I really didn't need all of the backhoe, but I don't use it all that often. So I really wanted to get there. What you're looking at here from the manual is my 3-point hitch and my top link and lower link bars. I think actually I only have the lower link bars on. They are the telescoping type. I got that because anyway, they seem to be a nice upgrade to have. The 3-point hitch is a standard way to attach tractor implements. And again, I might name these videos the knobs version of getting used to this, so that other people aren't afraid to try to return to the land in rural America. But this is a 3-point hitch. I'm disconnecting the 3-point hitch. Why do I have the 3-point hitch on? I have the 3-point hitch on because no one told me when I purchased the B3350 to use the belly mower, you need the 2 lower bars of the 3-point hitch. I've taken this hitch off probably once before you're seeing the video. So as I said, you're really seeing a knob, a layman try to get this work done. These are some rings that I've found. I always try to reattach them, because if I don't, I immediately lose them. But in my previous videos, I showed you how I put in the front end loader and take off the snow plow. But in the backhoe, it's really hard for me because backing up to get it lined, it's really hard to see where you're at. So I've asked I've invited my family out, and I actually encourage them. I call it mandatory fun, mandatory daddy-daughter time. That's my youngest daughter's head kind of poking out of the video. And I try to keep the kids around, even though I'm all very cautious of trying to keep safety with them. But I really want, my daughter is only 2 years old, and she's been around tractors all her life. And that's the kind of person I'm trying to raise. So I'm taking off the lower link telescoping arm here on the 3-point hitch. I always put the pins immediately back where they came from because, well, if I don't, then, I lose them immediately. So I put those back, and like I said, I have those lower arms on the tractor because no one told me this, but you need those lower arms on to move the belly more up and down when you're cutting grass. I have probably about 2 acres of grass, which I would love to get rid of, but I also have another 3 acres of just grassland, so that I have a lot of growth here. So I need to keep that grass cut, and I like the belly more. It works, and I like being in my tractor. So this is how I remove the 3-point hitch lower link telescoping type bars. You'll see that I'm using that there's the Japanese, the Kubota is made in Japan. It's actually a lot of the materials made in Japan. It's assembled here in the United States in Dixie. I use they have things called set pins, which I'm trying to get you a good picture of. Those things are a pain in the butt, but they work very well. They're very small. The Japanese love their small pins, but they work. I always put them back, like I said, immediately, or if I don't, I end up losing one little component, and of course it doesn't work. Again, trying to back up to this BH77 backhoe is a little bit difficult, so I asked my wife to come out and give me a hand on the Mrs. Bart there on how to move, and she's trying to give me the lineup. But this is the first time she's done it herself also, so it's a little bit of work, to tell you the honest truth. It's not the simplest thing to connect this for me, because I can't see where those whatever those hooks are called in the back of the tractor and how they line up. So this video is a bit short, but let me tell you, we went back and forth trying to get this thing lined up. I don't know, do I put chalk on the ground, or it's hard to lean over the side, lean out the back of the tractor and see where those hooks are exactly. So, I've cut out the worst parts of it because I don't want to look like a complete idiot on a video. But hooking the backhoe up is lining it up basically is a little bit of a trouble for me, at least. Like I said, this is about the second or third time I've connected the backhoe. I did some work, like I said, on a friend's property and some on mine. So I do release the pressure, and due to your comments, I've found maybe there's a better way to release pressure. I'll try that. The hydraulic lines have to be disconnected from the tractor. Obviously, the hydraulic system is a circuit, so hydraulic flows through back into the tractor. And to get the backhoe to operate, you hook the hydraulic line to the tractor. So what I do is I back up the tractor to it's very close, and then what I do is I release the pressure, disconnect the hydraulic line, and then I connect the tractor's hydraulic line to the backhoe, and it has, of course, a return line that I also connect there. So these hydraulic lines quick disconnects are very useful. You got to make sure that those lines are out of the way of the tractor attachments. So once it looks like that line is in the way, is there, but it's not. And so what I do, once I get the hydraulic lines connected, I can turn the tractor back on, and then I can manipulate the backhoe, picking it up, kind of getting it exactly where I need it to connect. Like I said, those lines look like they're getting caught in crimp there, but they're not. The one line is inside and the other line is out. And so I basically kind of move there's these little two legs that come down on the tractor and the bucket. Between the two legs that come down and the bucket, I can kind of lift those that BH77, so the backhoe, to it, and put these massive pins they have in there, and then drop them down. They actually have a little connection that you can lock in place. And so what I do is I put that in there and make sure that those massive pins are in. That's actually what holds it. So now we're off to do some planting of our some berries and some fruit trees on the property. Thank you guys very much for coming with us, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for helping grow the channel. Appreciate that. Please share the video and with friends. Like friends, please subscribe to me over on the blog and also on minds.com, so that the people from YouTube can't stop us from communicating. Viva Cristo Rey, Viva Cristo Rey, Viva Cristo Rey y the Virgin of Guadalupe.